You must be thinking about moving to North Kansas City. Well, today is your lucky day because we've put together a pros and cons list so you know everything that you need to know before taking a move to North Kansas City. Hi, I'm Max Jones. This is my partner, Zach Morton. We're with the Mojo Real Estate team, and we've been in business for over 20 years helping people just like you move to the Kansas City area. But don't take our word for it because we've got over 600 reviews online, so you can get on your Google and check us out and see what our clients have to say about us. All right, let's dig into the details and go over the pros and cons for North Kansas City. And if you stick around to the end, then we are going to reveal our number one thing about North Kansas City and what makes it an amazing place to live.
Let's do it.
All right, what would you say, start us off, Zach, what would you say is the number one pro about North Kansas City?
The number one pro that comes to my mind is the nightlife. There's a lot of action going on down there. It's super walkable, a lot of bars, restaurants. We have our chicken and pickle there that the whole Northland goes down to get their chicken and pickle on. And that's what I think. I think outdoor music, walking down the street, you can hear a guitar playing or some karaoke and just slide into the bar and grab a drink and have a good night.
Heck yeah, you've got Neon Wild is one of the dance clubs down there. 80s.
Yeah.
Everybody likes to get wild down there.
A couple local breweries,
yeah.
microbrews all over the place down there, and then barbecue. Obviously, you know, we're in Kansas City. Don't get us started on barbecue, but
yeah, great restaurants too. It's really chock full of entertainment and nightlife.
Yeah.
As far as I mean, that kind of dovetails into the number two pro. As far as entertainment goes, it's not just the nightlife and partying. It's tons of restaurants. Tay's Burgers is one of my favorite burger joints in town.
That's a good one.
Lots of stuff going on.
They've recently put in, I think maybe in the last year, there's the food truck. They're made out of the shipping containers.
Yeah, the Iron District. Yeah, that is a really cool place.
Yeah, so these shipping containers, I think they're there permanently, and then different food truck vendors can come in and rent those or buy that space, and it's kind of cool and trendy and a fun spot to go. Another one of my favorite things to do down there is ROKC, which is an indoor rock climbing gym. It just came to Kansas City, I don't know, maybe 5 or 8 years ago or so. That's a great spot. They've got the auto belays there, so you don't have to belay your kids. You can just hook your kid to this thing and they'll go up and down all by themselves, and great for parties and exercise. And what else we like to do down there?
We've had a couple of our client appreciation parties down there at the iWorks.
Yeah.
Where we'll do like a poker night and invite a bunch of our clients down there to, well, not just poker, a casino night, where we have all the games and just tons of venues and places in North Kansas City that it's also known as Northtown. People will call it Northtown.
And it's located just north of the river. We're always talking about north of the river and south of the river. So this goes to the river and then goes north from there. So
yeah, its access to highways is phenomenal. I think they have 4 bridges that cross over the Missouri River. You got the Heart of America Bridge and several bridges and highways that all converge and come over the river right in Northtown. So it is really, I'd say that's another one of its pros is its location.
Yeah, it's a hopping spot. It's easy to get to, and from there you're just right across the river to downtown. In fact, they're trying to right now we have a streetcar downtown that's completely free that runs through all the hot spots north and south through downtown. And they're working on a plan to bring that over the river so we can bring people into North Kansas City so they can just have even more fun without a car.
Yeah. The walkability of North Kansas City is amazing. I'd say that's a big on the pros list, including the proximity to downtown. So really your 5-minute drive over the bridge, but if they get that streetcar in and you can walk to the streetcar and take the train across the bridge, I think that would be huge.
Yeah, a lot of the fun stuff to do down there is like on Swift or Iron or just it's all pretty tight to each other. There is the burger joint, I think it's a little off. There's a couple restaurants that are scattered out, but for the most part, it's pretty compact and like you said, super walkable, so you can get to all the major fun stuff. just park the car or get dropped off, Uber down there, have a good time. And
speaking of park, that is another pro for Northtown. Is they've got one of the biggest parks in the Northland, Mackin Park,
yeah.
and it is awesome. I mean, you see, it's got some ball fields and lots of playgrounds and things for kids to do, and it's all in walking distance from most of the single-family homes that are surrounding it. So it's a really great park there.
Yeah, it's a good spot. It's a spot that people will, if they don't live right down there, they'll actually drive to it to go use it because it's just a great area. Lots of stuff to do.
One more park there that is pretty fun. I mean, is Waterworks Park. I don't think it's technically in North Kansas City, but it's just adjacent to it, the actually city limits. And it has a really cool frisbee golf. It's kind of on a hill and is a great frisbee golf course.
Yeah, North Kansas City, I would say, is probably River Bottom's the way it's laid out. So it's all flat, kind of industrial with the train yard. The old train used to run through there. And then the disc golf course sits up on the bluff, just overlooking North Kansas City. So yeah, it's a really cool course. It's full of up and down hills and bluffs, and you're out in the trees. But yeah, completely free. Good place to go get some exercise right before you go downtown and eat too much food and drink too much.
Yep, yin and yang.
That's right.
And last on our pros list, there's lots of pros, but the last one on our list of about 5 to 6 is the downtown airport. So we've got the major MCI airport that's up north of the Northland on Platte County, but there's also the downtown airport where you have the Chiefs fly out of, and has a lot of executives fly into Kansas City using the downtown airport, and it's just adjacent to North Kansas City. So
yeah, it's a great spot. Like you said, it's like a private airport, so there'll be a lot of small jets coming in and out, and business people and chiefs and all that. But it's also kind of a hobbyist airport too, because I know at one time I was working on getting my pilot's license, my private pilot's license, and that's where I was getting my lessons out of. So you're down there flying around downtown and flying over downtown, and there's actually guys that the instructors down there around the holidays. You can go down and see the Plaza Lights, which is our big shopping district downtown. But anyway, you can go down there, give them a few bucks, and they'll take you in a little Cessna and fly you over downtown, see all the holiday lights, and that's just right there out of North Kansas City.
Yeah, we had a gift a prize from one of our client appreciation events that was a helicopter ride.
Yeah.
From the downtown airport. So it's a cool spot right by North Kansas City.
And that's where the Blue Angels will come too when they come to town.
Yeah. So. When they have the air show. That's really cool. Good reminder that the air show, the planes will be cruising around North Kansas City. It is really cool.
Yeah, it's fun when they come to town.
Yeah.
And Snake Saturday parade, if you're into parades, that's a big one for North Kansas City too, just right there before St. Patty's Day, when all those restaurants and bars that kind of open up into the streets and everybody gets their green on, and Snake Saturday parade.
Yeah.
It's big in North Kansas City.
Geez, lots of pros.
Yeah.
All right, well now let's go over the cons.
All right, what do we got?
Some of the things that make it great are also maybe perceived as cons by people that aren't into that sort of thing. So I would say the industrial feel of Northtown might not be, everybody's cup of tea as far as where they want to live. It might be a great place to go, but you might not want to live there because a lot of the buildings are, they're buildings. They're not single-family homes. So they're, the old industrial buildings that have been repurposed for condominiums. So it kind of has an industrial commercial vibe, more like a downtown Brooklyn than it does the suburbs.
Yeah, they're just shorter buildings. Everything's like probably 4 stories tall at the max. So
yeah,
it's and there is a lot of floodplain down there too. It is the kind of old river bottom. They've done a lot with the river and how they have narrowed it downtown to keep it moving fast and higher banks. But at one point it was a floodplain. There's still residential areas, actually near that park that fall into that floodplain. So that's why it never went totally crazy and went ham because it is so close to downtown. It's got a lot going for it, but I think that's maybe one of the things that slowed it down. But now that they've got all the levees in place and a little bit better about anticipating floods and keeping that out of there, that it's on a growth path now.
Yep, send that water down the river to St. Louis. Let them deal
St.
with it.
Louis.
Okay, so yep, the fact that it is industrial makes for a real lack of single-family homes. So when you're looking to live in North Kansas City, and we set you up with a search, and you're on the hunt, the amount of single-family homes is pretty sparse. There are some, they're building some new multifamily, some townhouses, but there's not a lot of room for growth there. So the lack of single-family homes and the percentage of them that are rented versus owned, and I did a little research, and it sounds like 75% of them are rental properties and only 25% are owned.
That makes a lot of sense. There is, like, kind of on the north side near that park, there's a lot of condos that went in recently. They're starting to build some of that stuff, and those can be owned or rented. They're really nice and great location, but a lot of the houses in those little smaller subdivisions that were on just the north side, most of those are rented to my knowledge, so I think that stat fits.
Yeah, well, if maintenance provided is your thing, then that's a great place to find it, is right in Northtown with the walkability and maintenance provided. It's also kind of a small area. I think it is only 4.5 square miles. So it's not a huge area, which is, I mean, I guess that's a con, that it's not huge if you're looking for a big place to live. But it is surrounded by all of the suburbs of Clay and Platte counties. So, you know.
And you'll always see, when you're on those main drags like the Swift and Burlington and all that, where all the action's happening, the densities, there's always people down there.
Yeah.
So it's always busy. There's always a good vibe.
Yeah, you're not gonna find a lot of privacy down there. But yeah, so it's a small area, and the area is actually, North Kansas City is separate from Kansas City. It's a separate municipality that's only 4.5 miles around, and but if you get just outside of that, you're in Kansas City. So it gets a little confusing, but it's all on the Missouri side. So you've got Kansas City and North Kansas City. And then that brings me to the next con, which is the school district. Now, it's not the worst school in all of the Kansas City metro area, but as far as the Northland's concerned, North Kansas City High School is probably, I'd say, the least desirable of all the high schools. It is in North Kansas City School District, and that will, as you go north, it seems like it gets a little better. So you go from North Kansas City to Winnetonka to Oak Park to Staley High School.
Yep.
As you kind of go up north from North Kansas City, and
the high schools tend to get better ratings as you work your way north. But that's just older to newer. That's
really what it is.
Kind of what you expect, and especially down there when it's so industrial, and you've got 75% of its tenants. Then I mean, it's kind of what you get.
Yeah, it's mostly maybe people that don't have kids, and that's not really their priority as the schools. So, but it is a cool high school, like right in North Kansas City by the Mackin Park that we mentioned. It's a pretty cool campus and football field if you're going to a football game down there. So, just maybe not the best academically as far as all of the options in the Northland. And then our last con that we've written down on our list of cons for North Kansas City is the access to grocery stores. If you are wanting to go to the grocery store, there's really not a lot of options in Northtown. There's a couple. I think there's a river market that opens up in the summer that you can go and get fresh produce, which is always cool. There's a couple little shops, but not your big super grocery stores that a lot of people are accustomed to.
With organics and all that. So you are going to have to go up the street just a little bit, hop on the highway to get to your big box grocery stores or your organic grocery stores, or across the river into downtown Kansas City to get your farmer's market.
Yeah. So that pretty much does it for our pros and cons. And now, since you've hung around to the end, we will reveal our number one thing that we love about North Kansas City.
What's your number one thing?
I would say that my number one thing is its potential in the future.
Okay.
That train, when they bring the streetcar across the river, across the bridge, and service North Kansas City, I'm just excited about what that means not only for North Kansas City but for the Northland. I think the plan is to eventually take it to the airport, which is going to take a lot of investment from the city and probably some taxes and stuff. But I think it's just going to be an amazing thing to be able to be in North Kansas City and hop on the train, and in 5 minutes you're in downtown, and no drinking and driving, and just I think that's what I'm really excited about, and what my favorite thing is the potential for the future.
All right. My favorite thing is actually two things. I think I love taking my kids. My daughter and I, she just turned 16 now, but over the last 5 years we go on like daddy-daughter dates.
Aww.
And that's what I love about North Kansas City. It's not so busy and crowded and crazy that you're going to get trampled and run over with traffic and people and crazy bar scenes. It's just the right pace. So we'll go down there. You can rent the little bird scooters or whatever and ride around town, chase the kids around. They've got the rock climbing gym, which is a good activity for kids of all ages, people of all ages. There's a CrossFit gym in there as well. And then you can take it over, get some dinner, go see some live music, and just have a really good night. It's nice and peaceful and not too over the top crazy. Close to home and right smack in the center of Kansas City.
Yeah, close to home. We live up north, so it is pretty cool just to be in a happening spot in 10 minutes drive from our house. So
yep,
that's cool. Well, we'll have to take the kids down there and hop on them scooters.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, well, that does it for our pros and cons video for North Kansas City. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you need anything, if you have any questions about North Kansas City or Kansas City in general, we'd love to be your resource. So reach out to us with a comment in the video. We've also, in the description, we've got our number, so you can give us a buzz anytime. When you call, you will, either Zach or I will pick up the phone. So you'll be speaking directly to us, and we would love to hear from you. Whether you're moving to North Kansas City or whether you just have a question, we would like to be here for you. So thank you so much for tuning in, and until then, we'll see you in the next one.